I've seen previous interviews and with the police, and one of our colleagues talked to you once upon a time. You're very upfront.
Pretty much.
About talking about this killing.
Right.
You murdered this man.
Yes.
You tortured him.
Of course.
There is no ambiguity, and there is nothing you want to... In court today, you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve to die? You claimed he was a snitch.
Well,
what proof do you have of that?
He told me he was a snitch.
He told you?
On many occasions. But that really doesn't matter. Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me. What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill. My reason might not be good to you, but your reason wasn't good to me. So.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, so when people tell you how to spot a psychopath, there are some rules of thumb. And keep in mind, you need more than just one thumb to spot a psychopath. More than one indicator. But one thing you see here right away is a very skillful redirection of the interviewer's concept. She immediately finds a similar situation that he can identify with and then leverages it against him. And this is what I call confrontational common ground. And that's exactly what she's using here in this situation. Her breathing rate is almost around 50 here, which is really high. It's into the chest and not her abdomen. We tend to breathe through our chest when we're stressed, our abdomen when we're relaxed, when we're sleeping. So we see that here. Her hair is done. She's very obviously taken time to ensure that a certain image is displayed. The behavior here is just like the image, in that I think she's needing some sort of reaction to the image that she's creating. And she likely, I think, feels some kind of reward when she can cause reactions in other people. And this personality type typically lived in their younger years feeling insignificant, and they feel the more that they can affect the world around them, more they can affect people as adults, the more they feel personally rewarded. Scott, what do you got?
All right. You're right. Really low blink rate at this point. She's breathing pretty fast. It's really shallow. But this stays almost throughout the whole interview. So it's really odd. I thought it was really interesting to see that. I think the lip licking is part of her baseline. We see a lot. I've got a buddy named Wendell who opens his mouth all the time. And it's a part of his baseline. And her cadence is normal for a baseline. She doesn't really lope anywhere. They sound like prepared answers, but I think it's prepared attitude she has. So no matter what she's going to answer with that attitude at this point. When the interviewer says there's no ambiguity, we see an expression of frustration and anger. It's another blend in this situation. So I think that bothers her something. I don't know why that would bother her, but that's the expression she's given. That's the impression I'm getting. And then the interviewer says, you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful. She says, of course not. Why would I do that? We see nostril flares. We see her eyes widen a little bit. There's anger at that point. And then he says, are you remorseful? And she smiles and says, why would I be? Again, I think this is a prepped attitude that she's replying with, because it's a little bit aggressive and it's flippant at the same time. And I agree, Chase, people say I can spot a psychopath. You can't spot a psychopath. Sometimes it takes up to a year to diagnose one, but we can see things that'll tell us that the person might be by their behaviors and the way they act, and they'll go down the hair checklist if they're not aware of the hair checklist and doing those things on purpose, or aware of that personality type and trying to mimic it. We're starting to get I think a foundation for her personality type here, though, by the way she's acting and the things she's saying with the attitude she's given us at that point. Not much thinking before she answers. Not much. I don't see a whole lot in some spots where we'll get to. There's construction. You can see her putting the answer together, how she's going to do it. But these just seem to come right out. Not that they're prepped, but I think it's her attitude has been prepped. And then the interviewer says, what proof do you have of that? The guy being a snitch. And that's where she chaffs and redirects at that point. She goes off into a whole other thing about her being killed. And it's just, she completely takes control of that and takes it over here. And he follows her, goes right with her at that point. Not that he would have any reason not to. I mean, he's not looking for deception because she's already in trouble. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I think this is more interesting than it first appears. So stick with us on this because it gets really interesting. Totally agree, Scott. Low blink rate at the start. Though what we do see is the blinks of recognition. This is what honesty looks like. She's being very honest with these answers up front. Did you do it? Absolutely, I did. I don't think she uses the word absolutely, but there's these blinks of recognition there that punctuate the honesty of that first part of the story. Totally got it here, Scott. Lips to baseline. Absolutely. I think we'll see that throughout. It's nothing more than baseline. What I like most about it, everybody has a reason to kill. Everybody has a reason to kill. So she puts forward this idea that killing is a human trait. Well, that might be true. That could well be true. But what we have in most societies is then a moral code that says, where is it moral and right to kill, and where is it immoral and wrong to kill another human being? And I think we're going to see this idea of the moral code play out. I think throughout this, she's going to try and convince us that she lives by a code. She's going to try and convince us, I think, that she's one type of personality when she is another type of personality. I think she's really good at it. I think she's really good. I mean, I think if you didn't have some expertise in this would be, you'd pretty much take it hook, line, and sinker. But I could be wrong. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Couple things, Mark. I agree with you. Watch. You're going to find she is sending a message that has, I don't know who she's sending it for, but she's sending a message with some traits and values and code. We'll start paying attention. And I'll point them out through each of these. That's interesting for me. It makes me wonder, did she have gang involvement and something else? Because there's some clear messaging she's sending that is, if she didn't do it intentionally, she's brilliant at unintentional messaging. She starts off, the other thing I'll talk about here is I say fight or flight a lot, and people may say, well, it doesn't affect people the way you think it does. Yes, it does. Fight or flight can go all the way from feeling apprehensive that somebody might discover you've done something in a minor fight or flight, all the way up to, I'm going to come across this table. I think she might be, I'm going to come across this table kind of a person. And that's why we're seeing the respiration up. And she's comfortable in that situation. Look, if she was doing that and it was not normal for her, Mark, you always talk about hyperventilation and respiration, she would be already in that situation. So something about her is jacked up. It's just how she is. She purses her lips for disapproval at one point, and she's emphatic with her eyes. Watch her eyes. She'll drive her point with her eyes, almost like crazy eyes. But Scott, when you talk about that no ambiguity, she does something we're going to see a few times that has some meaning. And the only reason is I say that's because when it's talking about her children, when it's talking about a couple of other things, she does that inside the mouth bite. That's an adapter. I don't know why she's doing it. And every one of you, watch, tell me what you see. I will read the comments to look and see if you have this. So paying attention to that and seeing what is going on, I think you'll pick up on something even I didn't. Then she does that lip compression at why would I be? Maybe she's holding back something there. Maybe she just does it because it's her style. Don't know. Then she does the Ramirez moral equivocation. I kill, so did the government. Government kills in war. This is moral restatement. All she's doing is exactly like you just said, Mark. She's doing a moral restatement, and she's saying all of us do it. Look, I just do it for a different reason, and I think she's going to tell us what the reason is. That's all I got.
Angela, I've seen previous interviews with the police, and one of our colleagues talked to you once upon a time. You're very upfront.
Pretty much.
About talking about this killing.
Right.
You murdered this man.
Yes.
You tortured him.
Of course.
There is no ambiguity, and there is nothing you want to... In court today, you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve to die? You claimed he was a snitch.
Well,
what proof do you have of that?
He told me he was a snitch.
He told you.
On many occasions. But that really doesn't matter. Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me. What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill. My reason might not be good to you, but your reason wasn't good to me. So.
If you like this video, get the full body language breakdown and analysis on our main channel by clicking this video right here.
you know,